Hi, it's Sarah Jane from Access Your True Nature with your daily dose of true nature, body, mind medicine. And for those of you that attempted to be on the boost call yesterday, I apologize for the failed attempts at keeping the live stream going. But I just wanted to sort of touch on the parts that I didn't get to and just sort of wrap it up. And if you weren't there, I hope that this content will be valuable. Hopefully, it will give you some food for thought on looking at how you can create your future by creating it. Just starting, just taking one step, inch by inch is a cinch, yard by yard is hard. And when you just take that step and you go into it with a full heart and step into the alchemy, the magic that you really are, which is really what the Gifted Life Project's all going to be about. And if you're interested in that, we start on February the 1st, the beginning of the Chinese New Year. So there you go. But for those of you, if you don't know me, I really am on a mission to help fierce, powerful women like you that are creative and do business the unconventional way to really get out of your own way and resolve the blocks and stops that are perhaps keeping you from sharing your gifts and monetizing them in a way that is kind and full of heart, because you are all feeling beautiful being, and it's time, isn't it, to show up for yourself. And this is really what we're going to be going deep into in the 8-week Gifted Life Project, because your voice is so needed right now, and people can't find you if you're hiding. So no more hiding, all right? Whether that is, with me or with somebody else, just invest in your energy and your time and focus on your voice, because it's the key to getting your voice out there and being a force in the world to transform other people's lives with your story. And I talked about this yesterday, these 4 levels of healings that we need in order to have sustainable change and get the results that you want and be committed to doing it. And it's kind of like this combination lock that if you're only getting 2 or 3 correct, if you're only practicing 2 or 3 of the levels of whole living, the lock still stays locked, doesn't it? So you have to start looking at how you can work in congruency with on all 4 levels of these 4 elements, so that you have powerful impact and have it open up. Your heart, your mind, the growth, and the spirit of you all need to be in alignment. So with that lock analogy, just know that we only really get in alignment when we have all 4 of these commitments working together. And if there isn't synergy, if one of them's out, we stay locked, don't we? And we don't get the flow and the ease that we want. And I know that you want to continue the momentum, especially if you completed the 7-day belief challenge. You know the value of having accountability, that when we go off on our own, we lose momentum. We don't have that accountability, and we let ourselves go by the wayside. You don't make yourself your number 1 priority anymore. So the official start of the new year starts in February, because we've done the integration and we've learned from the last year, and we've taken the lessons, and we know what we want to focus on going forward, and we've recalibrated it, and we're really clear. We've emptied our cup, so to speak, so that we can bring these new energies in and get the results and the success and the happiness and the fulfillment that you want. So just know that you have to have mental engagement rather than checking out. You have to have the physical. You have to be looking after your body. And also, you have to show up to your own appointments with yourself and respect your time. Respect your time with yourself. And time management is something that we're going to look at a lot in the Gifted Life Project, because we have to look at what's going on with your time. Because really, when you're in conscious business, when you're congruent to your voice and what you stand for and what you need to do, it doesn't actually take a lot of time. And what would the lifetime value be for you to quadruple or just really increase your resources right now? What change could you do with that extra money? How would you feel if you haven't delivered your gifts by the end of this lifetime? So this is really where I want to go with this, is to look at your level of commitment And that's that fourth level of whole living. But if you want to see lasting momentum and you keep up leveling step by step, you need that emotion of commitment, not just for a short-term solution, but something that really sustains you and builds you and grows you year by year in every area of your life, and how it starts to relate to your whole life with this sort of free thinking, healing, whole human being that you really are, by being really, really clear about what it is that you want. And this is something that I use a lot to demonstrate your belief and your value, is that you have to be mentally invested, you have to be emotionally invested, you have to be physically invested, and you also have to be financially invested. Those are the four levels of commitment. And you just have to look at where most successful people are putting their time and their money and their resources. If you want to see where someone is, look at their priorities. Are they putting themselves first? Are they investing in themselves on all four levels of that? And I don't see that so much anymore with the people that come and work with me. But you can see a lot where people are at by where they're putting their time and their money and their energy and their body into. So have a look at that in your own life, because you do need all four levels in place if you're going to continue to enjoy where you're going and what you're putting into as your living legacy. And it has to be, I believe anyway, the synergy of inner and outer work, because that's where the transformation comes. And you have to acknowledge, don't you, that you are your own natural resource. And if you're stuck in unconscious commitments and money drama and stories about your past hurts and experiences, you can't really change what you're not acknowledging, can you? You can't heal unless you feel them. And that's why this root cause resolution is such an integral part of my work, is that spiritual part. And I'm really grateful and blessed to be deeply guided by spirit and animal medicine and the shamanic path, this sort of spiral path that we're all walking on, to go through your rite of passage and claim your gifts, and also have the container of a safe space to show up and share your gifts with the world. And what I find working with so many people over the years is that you don't get what you want, you get what you're committed to. And if you're not choosing to commit to your life, if you're shutting yourself down, if you're dimming your light, you're not going to get that. And I so don't want the world to miss out on your gifts. And I certainly don't want you to miss out on living into your legacy. So if you're looking for momentum, so many of you within Believe and the people that work private with me, you've already seen the results, and you know you're awake. You've done a lot of work already, and maybe you can relate to that you know yourself pretty well, but you know that you need that accountability piece, and maybe you're looking for a way to make that happen for you, so that you can start living into the legend that you really, really are, and create it deeper, meaningful, positive impact in the world, starting with you, and claiming your gifts. You know, it's time to tell your truth and serve at your highest level, because honestly, I'm so tired of seeing people manipulated into buying more stuff that they don't need, and more programs that are not unique to their individual prescription. And I know that you don't speak that language, that you are intuitive and sensitive and maybe a little introverted, and you're just looking for a breakthrough. And you don't have to break through anything. There's nothing to fix, and you're not a button, a seat. You are you, and I want to gift you how easy it is to get those exact steps to get your level of success and your happiness that you want, because I really want you to have that transformation that you want. And I know it's scary, you know, I know that maybe you're afraid that you don't have a guide, or you don't have the support right now to get you to that next step. So if you're ready and you're looking for that, I would be honored to be your guide and your coach for the next 8 weeks in the Gifted Life Project. I'm pretty good at that. To teach women just like you that are creative and are sensitive and are intuitive and are so wise to really monetize their gifts and start to create the lifestyle and the freedom and the resources that they know they want, but in a way that is very generous and very kind and very heart-based. And I just see so many talented healers and artists and coaches that are so brilliant at what they do, and healers, but they're not charging the right amount of money, and they also don't know how to tell people what it is that they do. You're not your certification, you're not your credentials, you're the whole life sum of your life experiences. And if you don't know how to say that, you get burnt out, you get exhausted, you get frustrated that it doesn't matter what you seem to be doing, nothing seems to change. And I've completely been there, and I know how exhausting it can be. When I had my daughter and she was about 3, I really wanted to have more freedom of time, and I didn't want to be doing one-on-one sessions. And I upped my investment in working with me one-on-one back then to, I think, almost 500%. And it was the best thing that I ever did, because I was able to give a bigger depth and breadth and knowledge of what I do and how I can help people by doing that. And the people that valued that and were ready to do the work, they started showing up, and my business has started, it hasn't stopped growing and growing, and I'm spending less hours in my business and more hours on my business, and it's very different. And I love working the way that I'm working right now, where I feel nourished. I have more time off with my family, I get to travel around the world and teach my classes, and I really feel much more fulfilled. But I had to own my value first. I had to know who I was, and I had to really claim my leadership in the slightly woo-woo, counterintuitive way that I do business. And I don't work alone. Like I said, I work with spirit, I work with divine, I have an incredible support team around me. And that's part of what I'm going to be teaching you how to do in the Gifted Life Project, is know how to charge what you're worth, and look at the mental and the emotional and the spiritual and the financial, all working together to get you the results, because strategy alone is not going to get you the results. And you've probably already discovered that, all these promises of 6K in 6 days, or the best marketing resources, or the best way to do Facebook ads, they're not going to help you unless you get those other key components in place and resolve on a very cellular level your core woundings. And I really wanted to deliver the high-end content in a format that was a very reasonable investment, that's still a stretch, but that would be more accessible, and also that had a very closed in and out. So that's why it's 8 weeks, so that you can commit to 8 weeks, 1 week at a time, because you are so gifted. And you just can't, maybe you've been stalling or putting it off because you think that it's out of your reach, or maybe you're just too exhausted. So we're going to revitalize and energize you, and give you this really transformative, juicy journey of how to live into your gifted life. And this work just seems to create such radical, amazing change. And I'm seeing it with the clients that are committed to get some skin in the game, and they're showing up in their lives, and they're doing the work, and they're making themselves their number one priority. They're showing up for their appointments. And if you are one of those people that are ready to ascend and grow and expand, let's get real. Sometimes it's pretty challenging, especially when you're on your own. So when you start to invest in a program like the Gifted Life Project, where you have a beautiful online Facebook group, a community that supports you, that sees you, that celebrates you, that's going to hold you accountable. Haven't you noticed that when you're with a group of powerful women like that because you're seeing them gain momentum, you gain momentum too, and we're learning from each other all the time. I never stop learning, and I'm always blown away by the depth of wisdom that every participant brings into this group. And it's only for 11. Hello, Tracy. So if that's something that you're interested in, and you're ready to get out of hiding, or you have any other questions, just message me here or email me at sj@accessyourtruenature, and I'd be happy to jump on a Skype call with you and see if this is a fit for you. and tell me what's going on for you. Tell me what's stopping you right now, or where you're perhaps feeling like you need a bit of an energy boost. And if you're interested in knowing how to heart sell in a way that really, really lights you up and gets you to attract the people that are looking for you and what only you have to give to the world, then hop onto the Gifted Life Project. I'm really going to use the feeding cycle of the five elements medicine on how to sell, you know, by going into the fire element and giving you the way that you know, it's about connection, and it's about lighting people's hearts up by just being seen and touched, and how to do that so that the next time you're at one of these horrendous networking events where everybody's kind of just dumping out business cards and no one's making eye contact and nobody really gives a shit what you do, and you're kind of feeling like awkward. I know I have at so many of these local events that are available. People are so desperate for that level of connection. They want to be seen. They don't give a they don't care about your certifications. They don't care about it. They just want to be seen, and they're in pain, and they're asking themselves, is this the person that's going to get me out of my suffering? Is this the person that I can trust myself to hold in the space that is going to give me back my life without the pain, without the suffering, without the narcissism, without whatever it is that's going on in their lives? And I'm going to show you exactly how to show up and make those heart connections and use the element of water, of curiosity, to hold space and listen. Because when you're in that space of generous listening, in that fertile listening ground, people are going to feel so held. And some of the best conversations people say that they've had with me, who've never heard of me or met me before in some random networking event or something, I've always said it's, you know, it was the best conversation they ever had, but I never said a thing. You know, I just asked a lot of questions, and I was genuinely interested in getting to know who they were. So if you're interested in doing business the hard way, if you are sick of the hustle and the grind and the sense of feeling so separate and alone, give me a shout out. Tell me how I can support you. Tell me what's going on in your life, and let me know how are you connecting, how are you showing up in a space of listening to what people are asking for, and how you can support them in getting there. And check out the Gifted Life Project, see if it's a fit for you. And whatever you're doing, wherever you are, just know that there is no one on the planet like you. There is nobody that came in with your unique experiences, with your unique talents and gifts and capacities, and they're waiting for you, and they can't find you if you're hiding or muting your voice. So if you would like to know how we can get you to a place where you're confident and you're clear in your message and who you stand for and who you want to serve, and being this little bee to the honeypot, to fill yourself up and leave this life knowing that you made a difference, give me a call. I would love to hear what you're up to and what's working for you. Where did you connect with somebody today? And if you haven't, reach out and touch somebody. And sometimes it's just about giving someone a hug for longer than a minute and asking them, what's up? All right. Love you guys. Bye. Mwah.